Alright, not sure if I got my video up before I post this video about the radiator install. So basically, once I finish the front end of the truck, put it in like the new leaf spring shocks, radiator core support mounts, stuff like that, I wanted to start the truck obviously, and come to find out I had coolant running everywhere. Turns out it was a radiator. Big leak in the radiator, so I've been waiting on my parts. They're here. Now I'm going to take out the old radiator, all the old hoses, and install a new radiator. Alright, got my hoses over here. Got my radiator hoses as well. This is the heater hose, obviously. And then radiators in the box. I haven't unboxed it yet, but this is what it looks like before. Obviously the first step is going to be, I already took off the piece that went here. That's why it's not painted, because I wasn't planning on doing this, but things happen obviously, so now we're here putting a new radiator in. I got to take the fan shroud off and basically undo all my wires and not wires, the hoses. The only thing that sucks is I haven't done one with a transmission cooler in it as well, so that's gonna be a learning curve. Hopefully not too much. So we'll see how it goes. Well, there you go. But obviously need to drain it all out, undo everything, and take all the old hoses off and put all my new stuff in. So that's the game plan. As you can see, I got my radiator out. Caused a huge mess, like it always does. Antifreeze everywhere. But I got my buckets. Got it out. It wouldn't come out with the fan, or the fan shroud would not come out with the radiator in there. So now that the radiator's out, I can take that out. I just gotta make sure I put that in before I put in the new radiator. So what I'm gonna do is obviously clean everything up, dry it, whatever, clean it up and paint it, and then install the new stuff. So transmission fluid came out a little bit, as you can see in the bucket here, but I don't know that much about transmission fluid. So I know obviously you're supposed to check the fluid when it's hot and everything like that, so I'm hoping that's why maybe not too much came out of the lines. So hopefully everything is still in the transmission and it's not in the cooler that I just took out, if you understand what I'm saying. Alright, I got the rest of my hoses off. I got that bottom hose off down there. You see it just dripped. For some reason it has a spring in it. I don't know why. But maybe just to keep this form of the hose. I really don't know. Don't think my new one has it. And my new one doesn't have it. I don't think I'm gonna put it back in. So as you can see, I cleaned everything up, painted it. I'm gonna do the heater hoses after it's all in. Yeah, I wiped down the fan. The fan's clean. I got my shroud wiped down. Okay, I got my bottom radiator hose in. New hose. I have to reuse the clamps. I don't have any big ones like this. Whatever. Cleaned up the shroud. It's in place, ready to go. So I can just slide the radiator right in. And I got my top hose new. Once I have everything else hooked up, then I'll do the the heater hoses right here. But, I mean, check this thing out. It's freaking sweet. This is a nice radiator. It's from Brothertrucks. It's a 3. I only bought the 3-row cooler. It's a little cheaper. I mean, not that it's a cheap radiator. I mean, it's $300. I mean, but I'm pretty sure the original radiator in this, which is that one, is only like a 1 row. So this is a 3 row. But yeah, ready to slide it on in. Painted all this up, cleaned up this rubber. This is clean, believe it or not. Painted the bottom piece because it has like some metal that was rusted out. So I just wire brushed everything, cleaned it, spray painted it. It's good to go. But yep, got all my hoses in place. Slide that in and then hook everything up. I'll be good to go. Alright, got it in. Looks pretty good. I just have to finesse everything, kinda. I'll probably have to move it towards the right just a little bit, maybe like 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, because I don't really like where it's sitting. It's too far over here, but I need to get this on, obviously, and it's hitting the fan shroud. So hopefully once I get it on, I'll be able to scoot it over just a little bit. Everything will line up perfectly. This line was in the way, so I had to, because it used to come over. I think this radiator is a little taller. Actually, it definitely is. So that might be making it hard for everything else when I have to put everything back together. I'm just figuring out this now. So this is the piece that used to go in, obviously, right? This sits right on here. Alright. Oh yeah, what the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna have to measure it. I'm gonna have to measure the radiator, see how tall it is compared to the old one. Alright, so I measured the original radiator, which is just over 18 inches. And then this is like 20 1/4 the height. So that's obviously why it's not lining up. So that's really stupid. And that sucks. Because this bracket right here goes into the radiator support right over here, and then this is what holds on the fan shroud right here. So I don't know why I searched everywhere. I was gonna get a cheaper radiator, and I was all worried about the measurements, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy from Brothertrucks, right? Because it should match up, right? You know, if they're saying this is for this car, this type, year, whatever, then it should fit, right? So obviously it's not fitting. So I'm still gonna run the radiator. I'm just gonna have to figure something else out with the bracket on the top over here and the fan shroud. So that's really annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna finish hooking everything up and whatnot. See what I can do. I got my radiator in. I got everything hooked up. I got everything how I want it. I got the fan shroud tight, so it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. Unfortunately, I have to use zip ties. The radiator was pretty, you know, in there pretty good. It wasn't going anywhere, but I still zip tied it just in case. Because usually there's that bracket that goes over here. You can bolt into here, and then it gets bolted in over here with the original radiator. But obviously, this one doesn't. I can't do that, so just zip tied it around back to itself. It has these little holes up here, and then zip tied fan shroud right here. Checked everything all around the fan. I fit my whole hand in on each blade. That side as well. I got my radiator hoses hooked up with my new stuff. I have my new heater hoses in. And that piece that went over the top, that's where these clips in as well. So right now I just got it going through here, so you know it's not gonna fall down. Just for now. Once I get everything back together, then I'll put it exactly where I want. This one's not going anywhere. These heater hoses were super hard to get off. But obviously I did it. Oh, everything's hooked up. Got my transmission lines in. New lower radiator hose as well. Hand fits in all the way around on this side as well. And I already filled it up. I didn't fill it up all the way, obviously, probably to like right about here. So that's why I got my reservoir hooked up. So when I do run it, if there's any extra or whatever, it's gonna go into here, obviously. And if there's not enough, then I'll add. So basically, just gotta put my air cleaner back on up top and hook up a battery and make sure everything's good to go. Alright, just finished tightening everything down, getting it how I wanted. I got the air cleaner back on, obviously, and there's just some other little things I was doing. So the good part about, I guess, not being able to use this little bracket that goes over the whole top of the radiator is I gained a couple screws from it, or bolts, whatever, and some things were missing, so I was able to, you know, this one was only, this whole cooler right here was only held on by this one little screw. So I grabbed one from that bracket that I can't use, put it in there, and yeah, just little things like that I'm doing. I am about to hook up the battery, but I usually set up like a little stool here, whatever, put the battery on, but ended up ordering new battery tray, the bottom and the side piece, just because mine was completely rusted out. It was like just trash. So I'm gonna be putting that in, and then I'll hook up the battery. Alright, so I'm not gonna install the battery box right now, just because you need that inner fender on and the outer fender, because this is the only part that I can attach right now. And obviously I don't want the whole battery, you know, resting on this, because once I attach this, then you gotta attach the bottom to it. It'll be like that, and then the other sides of this will be free, so it won't have any support. So I just don't want it to like bend like this. Obviously batteries are kind of heavy, so just gonna set it up normal. Alright, got the Blazer all hooked up, ready to go. I'm gonna try and start it up. I haven't started it in like almost maybe 3 weeks, maybe 2.5, somewhere around there, since the radiator crapped out on me. So let's give it a try. It might take a couple tries, but there we go.
coolant it's going to need.